Welcome to Take 5. I'm so excited to be back on the air. I'm going to do two editions of this today. Thank you for joining me. We are in Luke chapter 19. I know I've been not feeling so well, but I had a tremendous nurse taking care of me that helped me feel better. We're in Luke 19, verse 41. And when he drew near and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, Would that you, even you, had known on this day the things that make for peace. But now they are hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up a barricade around you and surround you and hem you in on every side and tear you down to the ground, you and your children within you. And they will not leave one stone upon another in you, because you did not know the time of your visitation. All right, now we're going to go a little further in this edition of Take 5, but I want to stop right here. Jesus is approaching Jerusalem. This is the city he's talking about, and he weeps over it. And you've got to know that Jesus cares about you. He cared about God's people at that time, and he cares about God's people now. He's not indifferent. He's not apathetic. He feels everything we feel. He feels them even stronger because he has perfect emotions that aren't clouded by sentimentality or selfishness. So he had a lot of compassion for these people. He wanted them to respond. He wanted them to repent, but they wouldn't. And so he says there's coming a judgment on you. He says your enemies are going to surround you. They're going to set up a barricade around you. You're not going to be able to get out. They're going to surround you. They're going to hem you in on every side, and they're going to tear you down to the ground, you and your children. See, Jesus knew what was coming. He knew that in AD 70, the Roman general Titus would run through and destroy the city of Jerusalem and pretty much wipe out the Jewish nation except for a remnant. And that did happen. And I'm going to tell you something. Not only did that judgment happen, there's a judgment coming for all of us. Whether that judgment is your own personal death or whether it's the return of Jesus in judgment, it's coming. So we need to take this time to make sure we're right with him. He doesn't want any of us to perish. He loves us. He weeps over us. But he wants what's best for us. So we need to respond to that. In that same vein, go to verse 45. And he entered the temple and began to drive out those who sold, saying to them, It is written, My house shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers. And I have explained this before, what was going on when they were offering the sacrifices. When the people were offering the sacrifices, the money, you had several things going on there in the temple that should not have been happening. First of all, you had people changing money. They were only accepting the temple treasury type money. And then they would charge a fee to change whatever money you brought so you could use it. Then, and they wouldn't accept any animal you brought. You would have to buy the animals they sold. And they would charge a lot more for a dove or for a pigeon or for a lamb to offer as a sacrifice. So it was really just a means of extorting money from people. And Jesus got rid of them. He said, I'm not going to let you be around here. This is my Father's house. You're turning it in to a den of robbers. It should be a house of prayer. Actually, he says here it is written, my house. So he's referring to God. So what we have here is Jesus referring to God as his Father. If you look at that Old Testament reference there in Isaiah 56, verse 7. Now let's finish this chapter up, verse 47. And he was teaching daily in the temple. The chief priests and the scribes and the principal men of the people were seeking to destroy him, but they did not find anything they could do, for all the people were hanging on his words. Well, they were looking for something he would say that they could point to and give them a reason to arrest him and put him in prison. They would wind up just making stuff up later anyway, but they were trying to sort of make a pretense of doing something legitimate, but Jesus just didn't give them anything. So, but we see their attitude. They want to destroy Jesus, and there's always enemies of God that want to destroy Jesus. They want to destroy his people. They want to destroy churches. So you got to be aware. The enemy is active. That's Satan, but he works through people. So don't be surprised if you face some of that. All right, that's all for now. But stay tuned, because the next edition of Take 5, you don't have to wait till tomorrow, is going to come up right now.